Okay, so I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm in another setback. So what happened was I've had chronic sinus infections for 15 years. I had the surgery in 2010. It helped immensely. I started psychiatric drugs in 2011, came off them too quickly in 2018, and I've been on a recovery journey ever since. I reinstated in 2020. I've had every adverse effect, side effect, withdrawal effect known to man at this point, and I'm getting so close to recovering, and then something like this always happens to me. And I get comfortable when I feel well, and then I just want to start living a normal life like normal people do. And then life just hits me puts me back on my ass and reminds me, you're not normal anymore. And it's devastating. So if you know, like, benzodiazepines are mast cell stabilizers. They have an antihistamine effect. So when you come off them, you can have excess histamine in your body, which I do. And it can create these type of allergic symptoms and all kinds of other symptoms. And so my sinus problems have gotten bad again over the last few years. And me being a type 1 diabetic, I always go through this like risk benefit analysis when I get some type of sickness, because if I don't treat an infection or in some type of way, whether it's antibiotics or something else, sometimes my body's unable to fight it on its own, and then the infection will get worse and worse and worse, and it can create what's called diabetic ketoacidosis, which is fatal, and it's much more common in type 1 diabetics, which is what I am. And that's why you don't want to let infections get out of control. But then because of this all these withdrawal problems that I have, I'm like, no, I want to give my body a chance to fight it on its own, and I want to avoid taking anything for it because it always causes a setback when I take antibiotics. So I'm always in this difficult position, and I never know what to do. So recently, whether it's from the wildfires or whether it's just from these drugs, or if it's from pollen, or if it's from, I don't know, like being run down, but I've been feeling sick again. And so I'm like, I don't want to take antibiotics. I haven't taken them since November of 2022 when I had a setback, and I just don't want to go down that road. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try using a nasal spray. And I've been using this nasal spray, or had been using it for many years before I went into withdrawal. It always helped me and always helped my sinuses. So I was like, okay, this is the lesser of two evils. Between this and antibiotics, I'm going to use it. So I started using it, didn't think much of it, was feeling fantastic. Withdrawal wise, I had been feeling great. I went to the Canada Day celebrations, the parade, the fair, the fireworks. We had went swimming and out for many meals. I've been doing so much with my family and feeling amazing. So I started having these sinus problems. I start taking this nasal spray, and I'm fine. First day fine, second day fine. By the third day, I started really noticing ramped up nervous system effects. And I thought, okay, this is from lack of sleep, this is from stress, this is from, I don't know, just a random wave, but it was getting really intense. And I had looked up the side effects of this nasal spray, and all it said on sort of the run-of-the-mill drug websites, Healthline, WebMD, whatever, was like upper respiratory side effects, irritated throat, that kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, well, this will be fine for me to take. But I'm feeling real bad by the third day. And so I was driving with my daughter, and it just hit me randomly, pull over and look up the patient reports. And that always tells the true story because they're unbiased. And it was comment after comment after comment. Severe anxiety, severe depression, vertigo, dizziness, migraines, all nervous system side effects. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, this is, I mean, it could be a coincidence, but I'm like, this has got to be what's causing my severe, what I feel like is another setback. And like, it doesn't really make sense that it was from anything like stress, because I mean, I'm always somewhat stressed because I'm a single mom. I'm trying to get back in the workforce. I'm raising a baby, and I'm dealing with all of this crap and diabetes. So I'm like, that doesn't really make sense. And then I don't think it's from just lack of sleep, because I'm always sleep deprived. I mean, I have a baby, so I've been sleep deprived for 14 months. So I'm like, is it really just that? And then I thought it could be my period coming up, but my period happens every month and I don't get this bad. And so then when I read these side effects, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And even people were commenting. I mentioned it to my doctor, and he's saying it's not possible. The nasal spray stays localized to the nasal, just the typical gaslighting. that we're all familiar with in the medical community, it just makes me want to puke. And I'm just so frustrated with myself because in the early months and early years, yeah, there were more things that would cause me issues, like toxic personal care products, chemical cleaners, all, caffeine and artificial sweeteners, everything would kind of set me off. But as I've gotten much better, those things don't really bother me anymore. But every time I take any type of pharmaceutical, whether it's over the counter, and things that we are taught are benign, are still causing problems. Things like Tylenol, this nasal spray, like any type of antibiotic, any type of drug. And it's so devastating to me, and it makes me so incredibly angry that I can be 29 months off drugs tomorrow and still so sensitive like this. And I hate the unpredictability. How long is this going to last again? I just get to a good place and it just knocks me on my ass again. It's so frustrating and demoralizing. I don't know. I just can't, I can't believe sometimes that this is my life. And I just call this world clown world, because it's like we are in a silent war. I feel like I'm walking in a minefield every single day. You can't even trust the people that are supposed to be healers. Those are the people that are injuring you. Like, what kind of backwards world is that? And where you have to be worried about every single ingredient and what someone has sprayed in their home before you go in there. Like, there's all these people in the injured community who can't handle air fresheners, and they can't handle perfumes, and they can't handle shampoo, and they're down to like 5 foods because they can't eat anything. It sets off their symptoms. Like, is this really, like, when I say it out loud and I think about it, I can't really process how messed up of a world we live in, and how this is happening to people over and over and over and over. It's just so backwards, and it's just so sad and angry, but I have such a fight in me to beat this, and I feel like I've come so far, and then I just get knocked on my ass again, and it's so frustrating. And I don't know. I just feel like I have to rant, and I had a complete mental breakdown this morning. I was bawling my eyes out, and even now as I sit here, I'm better than I was earlier, but I'm very uncomfortable in my body. I just have this pulsating electric nerve shocking, especially in my butt and in my torso, and it feels like my arm that's holding the phone feels like it's going to curl up and get stuck there, and everything is tight and burning, and my mind is just in such a terrible place. I can't think anymore again, and I'm just back to the like looping thoughts and just the pain and the burning and the dystonic feelings, and I'm so tired of this. I'm just so tired of it. And I've said it over and over again, like, if you're someone who knows me fairly well, that I'll never take anything again. And I hit my absolute final straw. Like, it was the final straw for me this morning, and I've been careful to avoid a lot of known potentially harmful drugs, but I had been getting more comfortable trying to take, a Tylenol when I have a headache, or now this nasal spray. But I am done. I'm so done with all of this crap. Like, I feel like we're almost ahead at the start of the bell curve, where these types of injuries are going to explode, and we're going to become the experts because we are at the kind of the beginning of it. And I mean, that's just my personal feeling. It's maddening. And I am having I still think I'm going to do a YouTube live here coming up. I will make an announcement and give a heads up when I'm going to do that. I'm having a meeting with Dr. Joseph Witt-Doring on Saturday about becoming one of his coaches. I feel like I'm in a really good position to do that. Now it's frustrating because I'm in this setback. I hate that word, but that's all I know how to call it. And but I've come such a long way. I've learned so much about these drugs and about the symptoms and about how, getting through to the next checkpoint, so to speak. But my rant's over. I hope you guys are doing okay, and I'll talk to you soon, and I'll let you know when I'm going to go live.